teachers, the faculty members, helps the teachers and faculty members to plan innovatively, to be creative in their course design, and to think out of the box, to prepare students for future roles that they would be playing in their professional lives. But now looking at this entire experience from the student's perspective will give us a better understanding of the implications of AI integration. Very thankful to our experts today, Dr. Bushra Usman, Asma Basharat, and Saba Iqbal. They have brought in use cases for AI integration and application in different disciplines. So without further delay, I would request Dr. Bushra Usman to please share her slides and share with us her experiences, her students' experiences of working with AI.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so very much for giving us this great and grand opportunity to be with such a learned group, mashallah. Thank you, CLT, Dr. Roxana and Dr. Navish, and all your team. And thank you, the participants, for joining us today. This session by itself is reflecting the readiness of the teachers and the readiness of us as faculty to prepare ourselves for whatever the change that we are witnessing and whatever the change the environment is witnessing. You're very right. We have to understand our target audience, and they are, of course, our students. And from their front, we need to understand that what is actually the change that they are anticipating, how they are changing by themselves, and what sort of change they are going to witness and they demand from the side of the faculty. So welcome to this session, and that's my part will be focusing on students' reflections. How do they think about their competencies and regardingly the faculty competencies? So AI's role and its impact in higher education. Why AI in education? It does matter. Why? The question I asked first and foremost from myself, why on earth we need to actually give it something, a kind of importance, and why not to just get along with whatever the traditional methods we have actually been doing beforehand? But the answer was simple. This why answer was simply, why not? If AI is there, which is transforming higher education across the globe, which is giving us the effectiveness and efficiency, it's getting our things done, it's the time to actually think whatever the teaching practices we are having within the classroom settings. Although it is raising certain ethical concerns, academic challenges, and societal concerns, but we need to be careful. Whatever and whenever the change is evident and it's knocking anyone's door, we have to either be proactive or reactive. So these are the two strategies we have to come up with. If we are not proactive, at least and at max is a kind of a response that would be that we need to be reactive. If we are not going to be reactive, the change will be actually wiping us off from the face of the academic world. So if this is there and there, if this is coming as a guest, why not to serve it with a cup of tea? Why not? So yeah, AI is actually to be seen as our expert assistant, but not, of course, a kind of a thing which is replacing or which will be and which should be replacing the human expertise or the mindset. So this is there, and it's actually offering us to enhance our effectiveness and efficiency as teachers. And in that regard, we need to upscale our skill set. The key focus area of this qualitative study, it's an exploratory study which was conducted within the classroom setting 2020. So these were the multiple sample sets that were being interviewed, and then the focus group discussions were made, and we identified that what sort of the competency mapping AI tools are there for the students and for the sake of the teachers. What do the students think about AI, and how do they think as benefits and disadvantages, and what is actually the overall evaluation of the use cases? In front of you is a link that's about the World Bank report on AI, the latest 2025 report. It's something which is worth downloadable. And you'll be finding so many best of the resources, tools, and all the things in a nutshell there. The benefits and the advantages and the disadvantages, if we talk on regarding the overall, the study that we have conducted, the qualitative study, we identified that it's actually offering us all those personalized education which a learner is needing, which a student is requiring. At the same time, we'll be offering the instant feedback. So if I, as a student, would be doing some work, would be presenting it to AI, any of the tool or system, it's actually coming up with instant feedback. It's saving my time. It's giving me 24/7 access. It's actually enhancing my skill set. And it's also supporting differently abled sets of the students. So not those only who are very capacitated, but also for those who are less when it comes to the competence level. At the same time, students are also pointing out that they are finding themselves having overly reliance now at the time when it comes to AI is easily in reach. Plagiarism is a concern. Yes, a lack of creativity is there. Loss of critical thinking is one of another concern. Misinformation at times. You just give certain commands, certain prompts, and whatever information you're coming up or getting the you just quote that information and without any sort of double check. So this is something, a kind of a concern that we all should be understanding, that what is this misinformation and how we are going to address it likewise. There is this digital divide that we all need to understand as faculty and the teachers and the instructors and the mentors across. Now, what is that? Some people are having, they are munificent when it comes to this digital access, but some might not be having that access. So this difference might be impacting when it comes to students learning. And of course, the health concerns are there, and we can witness that there's the screen fatigue and students are more isolated. They are having the less societal interactions. Literature is also pointing out that, yes, AI-powered platforms are increasing students' efficiency by 20%. Studies like Howard University studies also pointing out that students who are utilizing these platforms and utilizing such tutoring are about to be more learned, having experiences when it comes to as compared to those who are not using and just simply using the classroom activities and things accordingly. Stanford University is also pointing out to this, that how AI-enhanced tutoring is effectively and efficiently being playing its role when it comes to all those, not only the students' learning experiences, but also when it comes to the teaching practices. So both the fronts are to be addressed in this ways. That means if we just happen to see the Bloom's 2 sigma problem, that how we can enhance or close the learning gaps, these technologies are able to help us in that regard even. Students' reflections are quite mixed responses. They are very happy, they are encouraging, they are highlighting the positives. Yes, creativity is a kind of a thing that is and that can be enhanced. Convenience is their personalized pace, and the tutoring is available. It's offering them support, but at the same time, as shortcut, they are showing their concerns and challenges regarding cheating, disengagement, and unethical use. But I'm so glad when I was discussing it with my students that they came up with the suggested solutions by themselves. So that means the critical judgmental analysis is not something which can be compromised. And they are reflecting it, that why not to come up from this from the faculty end to be preparing such assignments which are focused on analytical analysis, judgmental analytical analysis. So if we as teachers are giving the material to AI tools, and if we demand or give a prompt that please help me in preparation of an assignment which is plagiarism free or something like that, focusing on the critical judgmental analysis of the students, with the defined and the clear rubrics, for instance, out of the marks 30, it starts giving us so beautifully prepared assignments that at times we get impressed. Yeah, dude, you did a good job. So the other suggested solutions that students are offering, they suggest that maybe from the teachers and teachers are required to be very much clear on what is AI by themselves. So defining AI, artificial intelligence, for us as faculty members within our classroom settings, this may be subjective. That is a need, I must say. And then what is acceptable for the teachers and what are the do's and the don'ts should be clearly outlined in your course outlines, or maybe during the instructions while giving any sort of assignments or assessments. And training on crafting effective prompts is also very important, because prompt engineering is a field that we all are aware of, that how much penetration it is having when it comes to AI and its impact and its outcomes. So students' usage is, I explored that students are using it on so many fronts, like freelancing help. They are preparing the content, social media contents and Fiverr contents. I would be narrating here one of the description from the side of one subject. And the student, when I asked him, how do you think that it's impacting your daily life? The answer was quite interesting, that the person was not only taking help from their academic world, but also taking help for their daily household chores, and then even beyond that. So one of the incident is the person narrated that whenever my car is broke, I do not happen to give a call to my car mechanic. Rather, I just open up my any of the AI tool and would be start discussing how to, now I'm facing this sort of problem and how to troubleshoot it. And I always, or mostly, I get the very good responses. One another student who narrated when I asked how it's helping you the daily activities and all that, the person narrated about the documented about something like the health concerns. So the person said that I've been facing so many health concerns, and it was the same scenario with my sister as well. The sister was on constant gastro medicines and all that. So when I started asking such sort of giving conditions, symptoms to AI, it came up with the conclusion that the sister was actually being diagnosed as anxiety and panic attacks. And when I discussed this feature with her physician, the physician was even convinced. So yeah, I guess it's not only the freelancing help, it's sort of the daily life help as well that students are seeking. Animated educational content, for example, through Midjourney use and so many other available tools that they are utilizing right at the moment in the contemporary world. They are creating YouTube contents, and they are making it as 24/7 a buddy, which is easily available for any sort of responses there. So what sort of competencies are required for the students from the end of the students, from the perspective of the students? They believe that they need to upscale their cognition, they need to upscale their digital literacy, they need to understand themselves and need to self-regulate them, avoiding shortcuts, because ethical concerns, I asked one of the students, okay, what sort of ethical issues and challenges you face whenever you submit any sort of assignment? The answer was very interesting, that in the nick of the hour, I might be submitting that very assignment, but that creates a bubble in me that I might have done something wrong somewhere. For instance, the person also quoted that in the data analytical courses and all, whenever it's about analysis and all, and if I just give the data and get the results quickly, but in the later stages, if I have to do it by myself, I would be in that perplexity and confusion, and might not be just doing it in that manner, in that expertise which might be required. So the communication is the competency that students are pointing out, and problem-solving skill set that they are demanding, that constructive AI feedback is something which is helping. For the teachers front, the competencies that they are highlighting is we as teachers would be seeing our curriculum, and during its design stage, we have to probably lock it as AI proof, coming up with better and more analytical assignments rather than just MCQs and so on and so forth. So digitally, we need to be quite aware, and pedagogically, we have to come up with innovative methods, and we need to keep engaging our students. And when it comes to assessment, this is how we are not only giving the assessment, but how we are actually checking it. Because when we are checking it, and if at that time, during that time, we use any sort of tools, those tools might be creeping in certain sort of biasism. So how and when and where we are restricting those sort of biasism is something that we need to address. So comparative model and the table is in front of you. I think I'm taking more time. Is this? Please tell me that how much time I'm left with.
You're good to go. Yeah, you can continue sharing your.
All right. Thank you, Mavish. Thank you, Dr. Saba. Okay, so the competency areas that the students and the teachers, for students and teachers, the competencies areas are in the leftmost column. When it comes to AI literacy, both need to be literate. At least the basic sense should be there when it comes to its comprehension and application. Ethically, we both need to be aware of the privacy breaches and the responsible AI use, avoiding plagiarism and the misuse from the students' front, and instructional design, like what sort of methodologies we are using. See, this is quite subjective. Why on earth I came up with this exploratory study? Because the context is always different. We can't actually just say, okay, these are the things and let's start implementing it. If the world is doing it, let's start implementing it. No, the context is always different. Even our classroom settings, contextual dimensions are different. Our subjects are different. So better is we need to understand them, and we need to actually keep playing with the outlines, with the assessments. Maybe one assessment is not going to help us. Maybe the second assessment is something which is not only helping us in assessment, but also improving our students' learning phases. So instructional design, we have to understand how we are incorporating it in lesson planning and how it's enhancing the students' end when it comes to learning enhancement. When we talk of data literacy, either we are by ourselves digitally and when it comes to data, we are literate enough to interpret it, and how about the students are taking it on the feedback. What I've witnessed is, and what is my humble experience, I'm still a learner in this field, is we have to define what, like the definition should be there, but at the same time, the process, that is how the students are doing it, like taking the screenshots, okay, what sort of prompt you are giving it, please share with me all the screenshots and all that. So the process is going to help us, both the teachers and the students within the classroom setting and beyond that, to understand the level of the engagement and the level of the learning output. Likewise, critically, we need to think by ourselves and adapt accordingly, encouraging evaluation and adaptability, and question AI accuracy from the end of students. This is something which is very critical, because students, they just copy paste. Now, this copying, pasting can be avoided, can be delayed if we as faculty members take a tax on ourselves. If we start taking that toll, I think Viva taking is a very crucial strategy that we need to think of. Viva up, you need to just give them the assignments, but whatever the assignment is, whatever the rubrics are, why not to take the sudden Vivas? Why not to take even the planned Vivas? So all these things are, I think, the strategies which might be helping us. And the tools, we need to be very much clear that the tools will keep upgrading. We can't just rely on one thing. Like the change, it is evident, it has to be here. And I would like to congratulate all the teachers community sitting here and beyond. Honestly speaking, our response has been crucial and critical and wonderful on all stages. Just remember COVID-19, it was awesome. Like, we were shifted online. Although we are very much blessed that we are in a university which equips us with the necessary competencies timely, but there are so many faculties and instructors across the Pakistan, I would be saying, for instance, those who are not having that blessing, but still our response was amazing. So this is how a change is there. Even the tool is going to be updated. We need to be updating by ourselves. Okay, so this is how professionally we need to update, and summary is in front of you. There are so many students' IDs, but I'll be just picking up one. For instance, student B is like, yeah, 24/7 its availability, but we need to actually not only relying it, but also we have to, hamari jo human side that has to be there and there. So the timeline 2010 till 2024 is very amazing, which is saying that how AI is changing its face, right from the machine learning applications, just the theoretical part, to the application by itself, where we are witnessing in 2024 and even 2025 how Gemini, ChatGPT, and so on and so forth are changing the mainstream applications within the classroom setting. Overall, if you see, there's this quite a balanced view, recognizing AI as aid, but not at all a replacement. This is simply suggesting how students are understanding, and they are encouraging us as well to design our curriculum. They are highlighting the importance of workshops, and they're highlighting the importance of research, policy making. We at School of Management have already come up with the AI policy, integration policy, and we believe that AI policy needs to be supervised annually. And if there are integral changes, we will be doing it accordingly. So AI is here to stay. And why not to again serve it with a cup of tea? And yeah, so competency development is the key for both teachers and students at this front. Students' voices, I can vouch that they are showing maturity. They are fully aware of whatever the change is there, and they are ready to adapt. And likewise, you and us teachers, that we are ready to adapt. We are showing our adaptation here. So one thing I would be concluding with, as Darwin said, it's not the strongest of the species that are going to survive, nor the most intelligent. It's those only who are most responsive to change. So hats off to change, hats off to CLT. Thank you so very much for allowing us to be a part of this wonderful session. God bless.
Thank you so much, Busha. That was very well rounded. I just quickly want to comment on two things that you have said. You talked about that we need to talk about what the students need to do, the what part, and the process, the how part.
Yes.
I want to add on to this. Just yesterday, I was reading a research article that talks about the reflection of after you have used AI, how do we engage students in reflecting on the outcome, on the process, and on the output? I think that's a very good idea. That's the last component in this entire cycle, the what, the how, and how did it go, the metacognition of the process. That can help us in enabling students to use AI tools as a tool only, and not as a shortcut or as an unethical tool for delivering the learning output. Another thing that I want to quickly relate to is what the quote that you have put on your screen from Charles Darwin. It's all about unlearning and relearning. I think the future, the most important competence that everybody needs to have, whoever wants to excel in the future, is to unlearn. Unlearning is more difficult than learning. And with the AI critical literacy, people are talking about unlearning and relearning because the technology is going to evolve. This is just the beginning, this is just the start of the journey. The technology is going to very rapidly evolve with so much investment going on in the AI businesses. So we need to know that how to quickly unlearn the old habits and the procedures that we once were more inclined to.
Absolutely.
And to change our procedures of working with the audience, that the purpose of having a mention of human competencies is intentional. We want you to think about what competencies should you have, and also the students should have, in order to effectively use AI. Now, when we say competencies, these are very blanket terminologies to help students to develop critical thinking. Yeah, everybody wants to do that. We all as teachers, we want our students to develop critical thinking as a life skill. But how do we break it down into more tangible skills? What do students have to do in order to be better practitioners of critical thinking? That is what we need to think about. What are the prerequisite competencies that will, in the end, help us achieve the bigger competency, which is critical thinking. So while we continue discussing the AI and how students have reacted to it, I really want you to keep thinking about the back-end competencies. The reason why we are talking about competencies is because we want to collate the human competencies required within our own context. Our context is very unique. It's very different from global north, and it is also very different from most countries of global south. Who are we? What makes us so different? These are the things that we have to think about. And in our own context, we cannot, as it is, buy things from international literature. We have to really tweak it to our own context. That's where this entire idea is coming from. So without further delay, I'd like to invite the next presenter, Asma Basharat. Dr. Asma, if you could please share your presentation with us. Thank you so much. And please limit your talk to 15 minutes only. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amish. I'll try my best. I'll try to be really quick. My presentation is not going to be so comprehensive as Dr. Bushra. Mashallah, she did a excellent job. First of all, Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. I hope everybody is doing well. And yes, Dr. Bushra, I think our tea should be fantastic. So let's start with without further delay. Let's start with our presentation. The focus of my presentation is about student learning and
Asma,
what
I'm
is
sorry to
my
interrupt, but can you please enter the slideshow mode?
Is it not reflecting at your end?
Yeah,
Do you see it now? Yeah.
now it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have a lot of tabs going on, so my system is a little slow. So yes, the focus of my presentation is going to be on what are my experiences and how I am teaching, focusing on student learning with AI. AI is not something new. AI has been here for a few decades now. Even in the computer science department, we have been teaching AI. Students have been implementing different types of applications, models. They have been making tools in their semester projects as well as their final year projects. But I think the real game changer was when OpenAI actually introduced ChatGPT. That was when actually it came with a bang. So AI is something I think, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Bushra as well, that uh, either we can be proactive or can be reactive. So, what CLT is doing right now, how we are engaging the faculty to come up with their experiences, I think that says a lot about the mindset that we have right now in FCCU. So there are a lot of things that AI has been doing. There are lots of security implications as well, as you all would have read about Sam Altman, Elon Musk. There are a lot of security implications, insecurities. Some even talk about, some even predict about the Terminator level doomsday effects. There are deep fakes, there are fake news, each and everything. But then again, when we talk about AI, there are also going to be positive aspects as well, and those positive aspects are going to take us to the future as well. So, as educators, as academicians, I think this is our top priority right now. Like as China and US, they have already implemented AI technology in their curriculum from the very early ages. So we, for our survival, for Pakistan's sake probably, as soon as we adopt, as soon as we unlearn and relearn AI, especially in our academia and our education, this is going to be extremely important. So what actually is my personal motto? My personal motto is like AI is not artificial intelligence. It's now how you are going to use AI to do your work. It's how you're going to use AI to amplify your intelligence. So AI for my students, it has to be about totally about amplification of their intelligence. It has to be how they can enhance their work rather than just doing or completing their work. So the one thing that I totally focus on is no plagiarism, and try to, instead of using AI to just complete the task, try to use AI with different prompts, different settings, and try to enhance what you can learn and you can understand about every concept. I usually teach three courses in every semester. One is a 100 level course, one is a 300 level course, and one is a 400 level course. So I engage with freshmen, sophomores, as well as senior level students. For freshmen, the strategy with the student learning, keeping in mind how the students are going to learn, the strategy for each and every level of student is going to be different for me. So, like for freshmen, I want them to be comfortable with using AI, especially as I teach CS 100, that is Introduction to Computing. Introduction to Computing, we have also incorporated as a must the AI component. And in the AI component, we try to make them familiar with how AI can assist them in their academic learning. We start with the very basic, with the definitions and everything, but more importantly, we try to incorporate the sense of how these tools are there to benefit them. I also use this AI showcase in my classrooms as well. I ask my students to form groups and search for some AI tool and then present it in the class. So in the end of the day, there are going to be lots of tools that are going to be presented, and each and every one is going to have those specific ideas of what is the significance of each and every tool. Like many students, not just ChatGPT, like I ask my students not to use ChatGPT as their case study. Use some other tools. They come up with many tools, even some of the tools I even haven't heard of. And I think it's fascinating how they can learn. The other thing that I really focus on is how they can understand prompts, how they can enhance their learning by giving different types of prompts. Like I ask my students to, okay, ask ChatGPT that explain this particular article or explain this particular topic uh, for an undergrad student. Make it easier to learn as an undergrad student. Even still, if you do not understand that topic, ask it to, okay, explain it to a 10 years old. So this is a fun activity that we do in class, in which we ask the students to uh, tailor different types of prompt and then come up with the understanding of the topic. And as rightly said, that yes, we can have those vivas, we can have those strategies through which we can see if they are plagiarizing it or if they are just actually learning something out of it. So yes, the basic thing that AI tools are being used for freshmen, those are searching, those are enhancing their concepts, building quizzes, and so many things. Then I ask them to present the pros and cons of each and everything. So it works well with this. For the sophomores, they have already into this. They already know how to use AI tools for searching, for learning, and everything. But now we just try to enhance how these tools can be worked. Like for the assignments, ask them to search for a topic. Like if they're even coding, I ask them to have two or three prompts and ask them to create two or three codes, and then look into those codes and try to find out which is the best one and why. So the students cannot just plagiarize it. Once they actually go through those codes, they go through the pros and cons, and then they are going to find out, they're going to learn that concept. So I think student learning is going to be focused on how we're going to tailor those assignments, how we're going to tailor those quizzes. Then they're going to be able to learn better. Uh, and with the AI, I think I can give more assignments. This is a negative point for the students as well. That when I give more assignments, I ask them to use AI tools, write this paragraph with different types of AI tools. I ask them to create different types of posters, again using AI tools. They can use Canva, they can use Midjourney, they can use any sort of AI tool. Create posters, create drawings. For seniors, it's a little difficult. Sorry, for seniors, I use research report writing as well. For that, they need to learn various tools. Again, the tools are going to be different. For freshmen, it was like ChatGPT and very basic level tools. When they come to the senior level students, it is going to focus on like licit.org. They have to find out literature reviews. Then for reference management, they need to know about Mendeley. They need to know about Site. They need to know about SciSpace, Jenny AI. So I ask the students to come up with as many tools as they can. Uh, Initially, they do not have to be original. The first task is always to be using AI tools, create different prompts, create different writings, come up with different outputs. And after those outputs, then go to something that is going to come from their learning. I can take the presentations, I can take the vivas, and the cross is, I think, it's excellent. Where from my experience, when you ask them to have every assignment in two phases, first one is the AI tool phase, and the second one is going to be their own original phase. So I think in this way, I've seen students learn much better. So in my experience, having a combination of both always works for me. Uh, and I think this is from my side of student learning. One thing that I wanted to add it in my presentations was in the last, I have been following all those CLT sessions. One complaint that everybody was making that we do not have AI, paid AI license. Yes, we do. We have Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is HEC sponsored. We have Microsoft 365 accounts given by HEC. So you can always use Copilot. I have this account by HEC. So Copilot does everything that ChatGPT can do. It's a paid software, so it is going to have all those briefs, templates, codes, writing. You can make everything out of this. Other than that, there are also many types of agents available in Copilot. These are some of the agents that are built-in agents, which have all those. These are all the stuff like Dropbox, Readly, so on and so forth. Other than that, like as Dr. Saima had initially demonstrated how to create your own agents, your own GPTs, we can also create our own agents in Copilot as well. The templates are given. You can follow those templates. And make some built-in chatbots as well. Or you can also configure by giving your own settings to it. So Copilot is something I think each and everyone in FCCU, we should investigate into this, because this is, again, free of cost, and this has been sponsored by AGC. So I asked Copilot to give me some of the features. These have been listed by Copilot itself. So it comes with everything. It comes with the chatbot, it comes with the productivity and office integrations, and it has these capabilities as well. It has the creative analytical capabilities, it has tool integrations and web connected intelligence as well. So I think I'm right on time. So thank you. If you have any questions, please do ask.
Thank you so much, Asma. That was very helpful for us to understand how students react to AI integration. If the audience have any questions directed to Asma Basharat, please post them in the meeting chat, and we are going to take those towards the end of the session. Our next expert is going to show us AI integration in logic science subjects, mathematics, because so far, you see, this is also a dilemma in AI integration, that we think that because of the large language models, it's best suited in language studies or humanities or social sciences, whereas the logic sciences kind of, we don't prefer using the language models or using open AI sources to teach logic subjects. So Saba Iqbal from the mathematics department is here with us today. She's going to share with us that how she has been using AI tools to empower the logic understanding within the computer science subject domain. Saba, over to you. You have to unmute your mic. No, you're still muted. Saba, we can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Classroom headphones, and especially for the computer science students, and to strengthen their conceptual grip on calculus courses. And so why is there a need of calculus? Why actually calculus matters for the CS students? If we talk about the AI, so there will be the four core connections over here. So first one is optimization, like how we use partial derivatives in machine learning, and for example the back propagation, and then we'll be talking about the rate of change, how by the algorithm performance analysis, and the graphics that we just get using the single or the multiple integrals, and how do we observe the area and volume using the AI tools, and signals like Ms. Asma Bishara. She's an expert in the cyber security, so how it helps in filtering and compression using the derivatives. So these concepts are not abstract. They actually derive from the real CS systems, from machine learning to animation. All right. So the first tool that I use during my classes within the classroom and even outside classroom as assignments. That is a symbol lab. So what does basically symbol lab do? It solves the algebra and complex problems step by step. So it basically provides the step-by-step solution. And we use this tool for detailed breakdowns in multivariable calculus and the calculus courses. So the CS students, they benefit from the clarity of the calculus complex topics like the partial derivatives, like the multiple integrals or the partial derivatives. And let me just, if you just allow me to give a quick 1 to 2 minutes live demo of a symbol lab. May I please, if I just stop share and so can you see my screen of symbol lab?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. So what does this symbol app, the AI math calculator, does for us? It solves algebra and complex problems step by step. It provides the step-by-step analysis, and we use this tool for detailed breakdowns in our calculus courses and multivariate calculus for the CS students. And let me just give a quick 1 to 2 minutes demo. So so here we can just enter our problem. Okay. For example, I want to calculate the partial derivative. Here you can see the many mathematical symbols and partial derivative. It will provide you with the suggestion list as well. So very quickly, uh, for instance, I am typing like x square y plus y square. X square y plus y square. Just act like a it acts like a calculator. So if you just click the go button, so you can see the derivative 2xy. So that gives CS students a quick reflection on how these derivatives, by taking these derivatives, the rate of change, how I like to relate it with their subject that I talk about the machine learning parameters tuning and linked to graphics, how the double integrals, for example, very quickly, we use it in the double integrals by for calculating the area, for calculating the volume, or how it is related to their subject. So this helps a student that they visualize what's happening under the hood. So it's ideal for debugging or model calibration. Let me just show you the double integral. I will add double integral. It will definitely giving me the lot of suggestions. I want to check x into y, a simple function x into y dx. And now if I just see, I can see the step-by-step solution. This is the answer, and you can see the related examples as well. So it will give you the related examples, the related functions. So they can like relate, and they can even experience what is happening with other examples. How the curves are changing, how the volumes, for example, double integral that gives the volumes, how it is changing. And this will definitely visualize what's happening under their subject, and it is very useful for the debugging. So let me just stop sharing and share my slides. Again. Okay. So it will definitely support the advanced calculus topics. And next is the Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha, it basically solves and simplifies the complex functions, and it will give us the roots of the equations, and it is used for the symbolic work, verifying homework. So I usually use Wolfram Alpha for their homeworks, for their class participation questions during the class, outside classroom as assignments, and where a symbol app, you have just observed the live demo symbol app, where it just provides you with a step-by-step guideline. This Wolfram Alpha that reveals the relationships between different functions, the relationships between different equations, the relationships between different roots, and it is very great for analytical thinking. It basically develops the critical thinking among students. So let me just quickly go to Wolfram Alpha now. Okay. So can you see my screen? Okay. This. So y is equals to x squared. In a recent class activity, I just told the students to, we were discussing like parabolas. So I just told them during the class, because the psychology says that after 20 minutes, students, they lose their interest. So we have to do like some quick 1 to 2 minutes activity with them. So I just told them, take out your mobile phones or your laptops, any device, and I gave some students, a group of students, y is equals to x square. And I told them that you can use the tools like Desmos, some of them Wolfram Alpha, some of them Symbolab. And what is the graph looks like when it is 3? Sorry, it is 3x square. What is the effect of the graphs when I just multiply it with the negative constants like -3, -4? And what y is equals to x square? That is a parabolic curve that passes through the region. So different students, they just develop their interest towards these parabolas, and they observed that when it is, so I told them that this y is linear, so your parabola that is symmetric towards the positive y-axis, and if it is negative, it will be towards the negative y-axis. So how parabola behaves when the constants are changed, and what if I add like 2 over here, what is the impact then? So I think my internet that is slow over here. So you can see the effect that translation happens. This way for a parabola that shifts to the positive 2. So
Saba, can you scroll down your screen a little bit? Because we can just see the search bar.
you can't see. Compute input. I think it is taking time to compute over here. Firstly, it was giving the parabola y is equals to x square, but for that it is taking some time. So the same parabola that is shifted to the positive 2. So like within the classroom, they just a 3 to 4 minutes reflection activity. So students can understand the concept and they can relate to their CS field. And I always try to give them real life examples that how they can use it in CS. And it supports the diverse learning groups, especially those who struggle with abstraction. Okay. So let me
So
just.
one question that's coming to my mind, it's such a complex interface. When students use this this application on their mobile phones, is the interface user friendly? Can they navigate between different options?
Yes, it simply acts like a calculator.
Okay.
So within actually my internet is not working very fine now. So like in Symbol Lab you have observed. So in just a minute it will provide you with the curve within few seconds. Like you enter your problem in the calculator, you perform different operations and you get the result, the manual calculations. It's the same way. They can see the graph, they can see the step-by-step analysis, and it definitely develops their critical thinking.
So, Saba, if you as a teacher you have to choose between a calculator or AI, what would you suggest the students to prefer?
Yeah, yes, yeah, for such curves.
Basically, what I understand from this, and I see my 13-year-old daughter also using AI to understand mathematics. This is one possibility for students to actually self-regulate their learning, to understand that what's the process behind the answer, to go in the backward manner of to explore the process. And this is what learning is. You understand the entire process at your own pace, in your own comfort zone, and in the way you like it. And sorry to interrupt your conversation, Saba, but there is a poll on your screens. The audience are requested to please respond to this. We really appreciate your time. And I know that you have classes to catch up on, but thank you so much for still being in the meeting with us. Yes, Saba, please go on. Please carry on.
So if I talk about how AI tools can be linked to CL concepts that we can just tackle with, like the machine learning models. Now it is an era of machine learning and data science. So it is used in the gradients and cost minimization, and then the game development. For game development, we use the integrals and rendering, and for data science, the modeling of different equations. And I even discussed with Ms. Asma Basharat that how it is linked in cyber security and the signal filtering process. So this basically builds the foundational thinking for the real world tech problems. And then the responsible use of AI. So our emphasis should be that we are using the tools with the critical thinking, the reflection, and uh, how this AI, just using it as a critical analysis tool, as a reflection, and then we have to define the acceptable use. For example, citing. I always tell my students in assignment that mention the source that you are using, whether you are using Desmos, whether you are using Wolfram Alpha or Symbol App, mention the source and how you think this source that you are using is preferable if you just compare it with the rest of the sources. Like, why are you using that? How it is helpful? There is there are subparts in which I ask such questions, and I think AI should be a companion to learning, and it is never a replacement. It should not be a replacement. And
Absolutely.
so it develops the student confidence through the guided experimentation. They experiment, like I tell them. I just very recently in the assignment I gave them the question. I told them that observe these changes when plus 3 is multiplied with this parabola, the minus 3 is multiplied. What if this constant added? And what source you are using, you have to mention that. Okay, and then the key takeaways: AI tools like Symbolab and Wolfram Alpha that enhance learning when paired with reflection, guidance, and creativity. And these faculty are mentors in shaping how AI is used and encourage students to engage, not just outsource the thinking. And lastly, the last slide on the ethical considerations in AI. So we should be transparent with the students. Or and I usually ask them that AI explain or do the thinking process for you, and promote the responsible exploration. So let's just guide our students to learn with AI not just use it. So
Thank you
that is
so
the
much,
end of
Saba.
my
Thank you. This was very helpful. I personally think that, as a faculty member, I feel that the more you engage students in reasoning, the more you ask them to compare and to talk about the process that had gone in the back end of the AI produced output, the more you encourage them to reflect on its operations. And that's how I personally feel I can encourage critical thinking in the students that I am teaching. So that's my strategy. I often ask them to, reflect on the output, to talk about how it could be made better, what are the lackings, and how do, and then also comment on the convergences of the product with their expectation. So all of these things, the process of reflecting on the output encourages students to engage in reflective thinking and to improve their critical thinking. Any comments from the audience? Any comments, any questions for our experts today? And I'm really, really thankful to you, Saba, for making it possible despite all the technical glitches. And also Dr. Bushra Osman had her, board of faculty meeting, and Asma Basharat for also taking out time for this session. So if there are no further questions, I'd like to close this session. Thank you so much again, and great learning drawn out of this session today, in which we talked about discipline-wise use of AI. Thank you so much, everyone. We have one quick comment in the chat. That's Dr. Roxana giving us a thumbs up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, CLC and